Second now. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as always, we are double streaming. We are talking about the news of the day if you live in the United Kingdom, which is the United Kingdom must actively prepare for a potential war in the homeland. And by homeland, they kind of mean here. Now, this is a problem of our own making. I feel we have had years of unchecked. What do they call it now? What's the word we use for it now? Irregular migration. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, a good percentage of these people that are coming to the United Kingdom are Iranian. They're Middle Eastern, they're from Africa. A lot of these people that come to this country, in fact, another one as well today, guys, okay? UK police beg migrants to respect women. Look, guys, let me get onto this, guys. Let me get onto this. So the news of the day, the UK must actively prepare for a potential war in the homeland. Review warns. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I've genuinely not read this, guys, okay? I've not read this. I don't know what it says. The National Security Strategy, published today states the UK must prepare for the potential of a wartime scenario in the UK homeland. So what they're talking about here, guys, is like homeland United Kingdom. I don't know. Call me controversial, guys, okay? Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but I think that means protecting air bases and stuff. No, God forbid one of those things would get set on fire, or somebody would go in with a can of spray paint and cause £30 million worth of damage. For the first time in many years, there's a picture of a tanky getting out of a tank or something. There's a GPMG behind him. He's got lots of scrim on it. He's got like stuff on his helmet. I never know why people put that stuff on their helmet. I think it's called camouflage or something. The UK has to actively prepare for the potential of a wartime scenario in its homeland. A national security strategy has warned. Published today, the national security strategy said it was the first time in many years that such an event had to be considered. It comes as Sky News recently explored what a Russian attack on Britain would look like in the War Game podcast. Guys, listen, has anybody actually watched this War Games podcast? Why am I not on this War Games podcast, guys, all right? Because I can pretty much guarantee you that I will out-qualify anyone on that War Games podcast. And that is a big statement saying it's Sky News. But also, guys, listen, I do understand this theatre. I do understand what's happening out in the east of Europe. And not many people do. Do you know why? Because they've read it in books. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, when you read things in books, you don't have that deeper understanding. And then when you've lived it, breathed it, felt it, struggled in those struggles, you don't have that same understanding than somebody that's read it in a book. And remember, if you read it in a book, you're reading somebody else's opinion. The review highlighted Russia and Iran as potential threats, including saying that the latter's hostile activity on British soil is increasing in an effort to silence critics, as well as directly threatening the United Kingdom. So they're talking about Iran's activity. So listen to this, guys, all right? Just listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching now, please just comment on this and tell me if I'm going insane, right? Tell me if I'm going insane. I'll read this again and I'll give you some facts, and then just tell me if I'm going bonkers, guys. Please tell me it's not me. So this review highlighted Russia and Iran as potential threats, including saying that the latter's, so Iran's hostile activity on British soil is increasing in an effort to silence critics, as well as directly threatening the UK. So if we're saying now, ladies and gentlemen, if this defense review has said that there is an increasing threat from Iran, and statistically, Iranian men coming in small boats are the biggest proportion. Do we not see the problems there, guys? Do we not see the problems? Is it just me? Am I being picky? Am I seeing the problems with the government coming out? The government coming out and saying, Iran's a massive problem. We've got a massive problem with Iran's increasing hostile activity on British soil. No, come in Iranians, we'll give you a hotel, Like, can anybody see the problems there, guys? Is it just me? Is it just me who sees the vast problems here, guys? Okay, it's almost like it is by design. It added, so I'm continuing this article now, guys. It added, meanwhile, some adversaries are laying the foundations for future conflict, positioning themselves to move quickly to cause major disruption to our energy and supply chains to deter us from standing up to their aggression. So I think what they're talking about there is Russia. Remember, guys, okay, in Ukraine, the energy grid, the power stations, the substations in Ukraine have all been, they've all been targeted by, Russian drone attacks. So in the United Kingdom, look, guys, and I don't know if there's any correlation here. Remember, correlation is not causation, but if the cap fits, wear it. Correlation isn't causation, but listen, guys, is it just me, or has there been in the United Kingdom a ridiculous amount of things getting set on fire the last 6 months or whatever? Substations, distribution centres, arms manufacturers. There's just all sorts of things that seem to be strategic that have just been getting set on fire, guys. Now, I'm not going to say that it is anything or it's nothing, but do you know what? I am going to say but? And you know what I think about when people say but in a sentence. But King's Cross fire. Van erupts into flame outside London Station. So for those of you guys who don't know, there was a massive fire in the back of a van today outside King's Cross Station. Now, I don't know what this is. I genuinely don't know what this is. But at the moment, I'm erring on that side now, guys, where I'm just seeing everything as potential sabotage. I'm not seeing any coincidence anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just like, coincidence? I don't care with your... I'm done with coincidence now, guys, okay? A van outside King's Cross Station burst into flames this morning, causing disruption for commuters. Emergency services on the scene at Euston Road between King's Cross and the junction adjacent St Pancras. Well, bus tier 2 is currently in place. Hang on, where is it now? It said that there was nothing left of the van. Hang on, I'm sure it said there was nothing left of the van. A spokesman said, due to reports from the fire... Right, I'm sure somewhere in this article, guys, somewhere... Oh, there it was. The van was completely destroyed by the blaze. Now, I don't know about you guys. I genuinely don't know about you guys, but, how many fires? And, but in my head... I know that some of these fires, there's a potential that some of these fires might be genuine accidents. But right now, guys, that not Overton window, that that benefit of the doubt has gone for me. So I'm just classing everything as malice intent, I guess. Malice intent, I think that's fair to say. Right, there was something else I wanted to talk about as well quickly. Where is it? Maybe this is it. I don't know. Let me have a look. Is this it? So, this is an article, ladies and gentlemen, from The Telegraph, all right? I'm going to read you the headline. Tell me what you think. Police plead with asylum seekers not to harass or abuse women. Officers' presentation for Micron warns them to show equal respect to both sexes. Asylum seekers have been told by police to treat women with respect and not harass them or risk being arrested. So, where do we go with this, guys? Is this the police going up and saying, please don't harass our women, or we'll do nothing about it. Please don't harass our women. And if you go on the park and you're there, taking pictures, please don't take pictures. Just put them in prison. Just put them in prison, guys, all right? Put them in prison or send them back to whence they came. Thou must be banished to whence thy came. It's just, it's just absolutely bonkers, guys, okay? Double this up with the £30 million that was just, a can of spray paint costs 30, like, can you imagine, guys, all right, if there is an actual sleeper cell uprising in the United Kingdom, can you imagine if the government, like, how the government are going to react? It will be, genuinely, guys, it will be absolutely hilarious to watch, guys, okay? It will be absolutely hilarious to watch. But, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching on if I'm only 12 minutes, guys, okay? Can you do that thing for me, ladies and gentlemen? I guess we have started now. We have started. I'm here, finally. You're here, and you're looking quite dashing, if I do say so myself. You are, really. You guys are looking dashing. TikTok sent me a notification. They said, Sean, do you realize how dashing your viewers look when they're watching you? I don't know how they get that statistic, guys. They threw that statistic out, and that was all you guys. So, it's all on you. The news of the day: Britain must prepare for a. Well, let me read you the headline. Let me read you the headline, so I can't get done for misinformation. So this is out, guys. This is headlines all over. UK must actively prepare for potential of war in the homeland. It's official now, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. The United Kingdom must prepare for a conflict in the homeland. And it does seem like this has all been brought about by design, doesn't it, guys? Like, how many times have I been on this live stream and said that, we could, I had something down there a minute ago. How many times have I been on the live stream and said, look, we could stop these, boat crossings in like 6 hours. Right, hang on, guys. Let me jump up and get some of the comments. I'm just conscious they've all gone crackers. Right. Right, listen, guys, the chat is open on TikTok, so I do apologize. I can't get to all of your comments, so I'm just going to get down, guys. I'm just going to jump relatively to the bottom and get the most potent. Matt is saying, I'm sure we'll be an inhabited highland somewhere where we can put them. Remix Matt, okay, hang on. Oh, Sean, thank you. You look dashing yourself, says Gemini Blessing. Thank you so much. Remix Madness says sleeper cells, 4 fires this week in different places: Blackpool, Skegness, London, and Manchester. Wow, I didn't realise about the Skegness. In fact, guys, listen, give me a second. Let me find this. But yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, right? Nobody will bat an eyelid if you go to the petrol station and buy one of those little, what are they with petrol? Does it have to be green or is it black? No, it's green, yeah. Nobody is going to bat an eyelid if you go to the petrol station and get one of those little jerry cans of petrol, full of petrol. They're like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to fill them. What, like a $5 or something? I don't know. If you get one of those jerry cans and a lighter, for £10, you can have your saboteurs your asymmetric warfare starters kit. Do you know what? They've probably got an ad on TikTok, haven't they? Come to England, you can get your saboteur starter kit. You've got like a little petrol thing and a lighter and somebody smiling. And it wouldn't surprise me, guys. This is the world we're in right now. It just drives me insane. Grumbling Grunts are saying about £7. Oh, about £7, right? Okay, yeah. So for the lawnmower, I've got an actual an old military jerry can that I use. It's like 20 litres. I don't even know how much it is to fill that up. Chris is saying those illegals are really extracting the urine so much on Twitter. Right, Chris, can you let me know? Chris, what do you mean exactly by that? Chris, what do you mean exactly by that? So Chris is saying, you guys can see you guys on TikTok can see because I've pinned the comment, but on you guys who are on YouTube, Chris is saying over on TikTok, those illegals are really extracting urine so much on Twitter, which is obviously X. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I can only imagine. Right, where are we? Will Starmer tell the nation we're at war, says user 0909. if Starmer's told Tell the Nation we're at war, yes, but he won't take it off his own, he won't take it off his own back. Right, T is saying Trump has fell out with Israel and Iran. I don't think he was that much friends with Iran, to be honest. Hang on. Fell out with Israel and Iran. Guys, there was a lot of news coverage about Donald Trump swearing. I didn't really think I want to waste my time on a video saying that like a 70-year-old man's dropped an F-bomb. He's totally entitled to use whatever. Do you know what? When you're the president of the United States, you can use whatever language you want. Right, I'm waiting for Chris to get back. I don't know if Chris is still in here, guys. I don't know if Chris is still in here, but Chris put a message out here saying something about things that are happening on Twitter with illegal migrants. I don't know where. Oh, there he is. Right, hang on. Right, and listen, guys. I'm genuinely looking at this for the first time. I don't know what. I see lots of videos of them. They don't care about the UK laws. Yeah, this is a thing we're going to now, isn't it, guys? Like, I remember in the 90s. Listen, guys, I grew up in the 90s in Rotherham, all right? There wasn't just bad stuff happening to girls, all right? Boys were getting beaten up, and then when the police would go and arrest the other people, they were just saying, no, it was being racist. It was being racist to me, and then we felt like we was a minority, so it was being a racist, insulting us racistly. So and as a parent now, you can only imagine what parents went through when like something happened to their son or daughter. They report them to the police, and then the police say, "Oh no, your child was being racist." And now we know, guys, from freedom of information. Now we know that back then in the 90s, any reports of racism and the police just had to drop the case. We know this, guys. This is out, and this is not me speculating. This is out now, so you can only imagine what things were going like and how emboldened people were. And in my opinion, guys, okay, this was down to Labour councillors, middle-aged women who've no idea of the world. They've never done anything, guys. Right? They've never done anything. They've never been anywhere. They've spent their whole life being a councillor, a church warden, a parish councillor, things where they don't actually have to do anything. Whereas, people like me who've had jobs in high stress environments where you've got to make things work. You've got to look at the situation. You've got to think, right, this is what I've got. That's what I need to do. That's the direction of travel. Yes, some things are going to fall by the wayside and I just can't deal with that. But we need to achieve these goals. They've never done that. And that was the main problem, guys, okay? But that's what they were saying back in the 90s. They were dropping the race card, and now I feel that these migrants are dropping the. Oh, sorry, I didn't understand the laws. Do you know what, guys? To me, it doesn't matter. Do you know if you don't? Do you know what, guys? When I go to Saudi Arabia, when I go to Iraq, Syria, the Middle East. I don't know all those laws either, but you know what? I act like a guest in their country. I follow their norms. I follow their, I don't do anything that I think would offend anyone when I'm in those countries, guys, okay? And you know what? I don't do anything that I think would offend anyone anyway. But to come over to this country and say that we don't understand the laws, it does, to me, seem like a get out of jail free card. Right, guys, I'm going to jump down on TikTok. There's loads of comments. I'm sorry if I've missed any. And then I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Gareth is saying 2 bears have escaped in Devon and went straight to the honey supply, triggering evacuation. Well, listen, guys, the wild bears now. There's wild bears in the woods. Right, Sammy. Hang on, I've got Sammy's comment here. I'm going to pin that. Right. So Sammy is saying, how do we prepare for war What war are we talking about in the UK? Right, Sammy, I'm gonna come back to that comment after I've come on to the after I've done the YouTube comments, guys. Okay, so we are double streaming again today, guys. Okay, double streaming. So these videos in their entirety, will all be uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch them later on. If you missed the beginning bit, you can go watch that. If you missed the end bit or whatever, you can go watch that as well. But guys, listen, can you do me a favor and hit those buttons? If you're watching on TikTok, the follow button, the share button, all those buttons that help me grow. And if you're watching on YouTube live or later on, please hit the buttons down below, the like, the like and the subscribe. And of course, guys, throw your comments in here, guys. Please throw your comments in here, because the more comments the more comments I get, the better feel I get of the mood around the nation, and the better my analysis can be, guys. Okay, really, because a lot of people, a lot of politicians, and certainly a lot of analysts, they don't take mood into consideration. They don't take the mood of people into consideration when they're planning things. All right. So, for example, if people are, hang on. If people are angry at a certain time and more things happen, they're going to get more angry. If they're happy at a certain time and bad things happen, that degree of escalation isn't going to be as high, guys, right? But please keep your comments coming, guys, okay? I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys, okay? Jenna Lana is saying, did you see the mass syringe attack in France? Yes, I did. I talked about it earlier on the live stream, and it will be uploaded on YouTube. It should be uploaded on YouTube now. Mass syringe attacks in France. This morning, I was commenting and I was saying, what did we say this morning? We said it was 100, at least 100 people had a syringe attack. Well, it turns out it's a lot more than 100. It's like almost 150. And these were predominantly women being attacked, guys, okay? So I was reading reports from the mainstream media this morning. More reports have come out, more information have come out, and it does turn out that the majority of people attacked in this syringe attack was women. So guys, listen, just bear that in mind when you're going to festivals this summer. You're going to festivals, you're going to carnivals, I don't know what the difference is. You're going to large public events, you're going to the beach. Just think about it now, ladies and gentlemen. First, we tried to ban the things. We tried to get the pointy things taken off. You know, the things you eat your dinner with and it's not a fork or a spoon. We tried to get the points taken off them. That didn't work. Right, okay. So we banned ninjas. No more ninjas are allowed in the UK. Right, okay, no more ninjas in the UK. Now, it looks like it's syringy attack. Everybody's syringing each other. So what are they going to do next? Ban doctors? Ban nurses? You know, ban people from giving medication in a hospital? Let's see how that one goes. I mean, I could certainly think of a few medications that we could all do with banning. But anyway, guys, we're not going to get into that. Listen, from the and Jenna Lana on YouTube, just one for you. Earlier on, we were talking about this on the live stream, and I was shocked, genuinely shocked, how many people were in the comments saying, yes, so it's happened to me, it's happened to someone I know, it's happened to a friend of the family I know. Like, I didn't realize that this was like already a thing, guys. I genuinely didn't. I'm learning. Listen, guys, every day of school day, I'm learning just as much as you guys. You know, we're walking these crazy paths together. You know, and I didn't know these things were actually like real. I mean, that to me sounds like some sort of dystopian horror film, doesn't it? You know, like 12 monkeys or something, and they're going around like injecting each other. Yes, you now have 12 monkey virus. You have 12 days to get antidote, but I want $1 million. It is really like that sort of stuff, guys. Yeah, sorry, Lana. Yeah, I did see that, guys. I did see that. Right, let me close that one down. So John Tintwistle is saying, I had an accident over 2 weeks ago with my leg. I will be and careful for the last 8 weeks, self-employed, not in tape, cold to a penny. They sat on illegals and it tells you to make you think. Right, I think what John's saying there. So John over on YouTube is saying he's had an accident and he's been. Hang on. I had an accident over 2 weeks ago with my leg. I will be and careful for at least the next 8 weeks, self-employed, not in tape, called a penny. They say, yet illegals are entitled. Ah, right, okay. So I think what John's saying there is, because John's self-employed, he's not entitled to any, I think, sick pay or something. I don't know. John, if you want to articulate, I don't think I got your point there, John, but listen, I'm going to go with what Silly Gallard is saying here over on YouTube. Bibi Netanyahu needed Trump to make him ceasefire. It was the only way because of the extreme right-wing coalition. I don't know what that means. Again, are we saying that Donald Trump shouted at Benjamin Netanyahu and made him have a ceasefire? I don't know. Guys, listen. Okay, remember when you're putting a comment in on the when you're putting a comment on the chat. By the time I get to your comment, we may have moved on and we may be talking about different things. So just try and articulate it so it's I can understand it easily. Right, Creepy Queen is saying, look up Hyde in Manchester. Right, let me just look up Hyde in Manchester, guys. Look what's happening in Hyde in Manchester. Hyde in Manchester. Right, £1 million takeover. £1 million takeover. Town hall, store closed for selling bogus tobacco goods. Oh, man jailed for more than 12 years after doing something to a young woman that you'd expect a man to be doing, and yeah, he looks like what you're expecting. I don't. What are we talking about with Hyde and Manchester? Weasel on Diesel is saying, good evening, all you brilliant people. And you know what, guys? I think we should comment that. I think we should share that. Good evening, you fantastic, wonderful people. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. What day is it? I don't even know. Is it a Tuesday? Maybe it's a Tuesday. Good evening, guys. Good Tuesday evening to everyone. There's been a lot of chatter about hotel people earning a lot of money working for delivery firms. Check the Sun. Yeah, it's just a thing, isn't it, guys? You know, it does seem like delivery companies just employ people from hotels, and it's a good way that they can earn a little bit of pocket money. I don't know, guys. Do you feel comfortable? I don't know. Let me know, guys. Do you guys feel comfortable ordering food off like Deliveroo and letting people know where you live? Like if you're a single woman, and I don't know if any of you guys are single women, but if you are a single woman and it's like, I don't know, it's the weekend, it's Saturday, you're feeling a bit peckish, and you really want one of them. What do you want? What do you want? You want like an I don't know. You want like a lambooner. You want like a lambooner and a couple of chapatis, and you're like, yeah. Do you know what? I really want some of that pilau rice. Like, do you feel comfortable ordering off like Deliveroo or I don't know, whatever we order off? I don't know what the other companies are. And do you feel comfortable with that, guys? I don't know. I mean, listen. I'm certainly not a single woman, and I don't class myself ever as a victim. But I don't feel comfortable ordering off those things. You know, the girls when they're like, "Oh, Daddy, can we have a kebab?" And we're like, "Well, yes, but I'm going to have to go and get it." Like, "Oh, but Daddy, everybody orders." I'm like, "Yeah, not in this house. We don't order nothing." I don't like, but I keep, I want my security to be I want a high level of security, and I just think letting people come to your house who you don't know, like who are they? Right, okay, so Silly Gallarda here who's over in Israel. She's saying, in Israel, the right-wing coalition wanted revenge after this morning's attack. 5 people transcended to beams of light. And Trump's reaction didn't give Benjamin Netanyahu any other option but to cease fire against his based expectations. So, look, guys, it's tragic every time someone dies in one of these missile attacks. It really is. I've said this before. I was watching a video. It wasn't the jazz players video. It was a video, and there was missiles going over. I think it must have been from Iran to Israel, and there was a girl, this little blonde girl, little kid. She was a little kid. Um, in like a restaurant. I don't think it was a rooftop restaurant. She was like in a restaurant, and she was cheering and screaming and going, yeah, yeah. And I was thinking, does she realize that those little streaks of like fire and that roar in the sky, that when they land at the other end, they're going to transcend people into beams of light? And it was really disturbing for me, guys. And it's kind of like it's just a good analogy of how 2025 is at the moment. We have got like this, we're going to have like a social mediaized war. We really are, guys. Where social media and like the turnaround that you can do this now, the speed in which you can get stitched together videos from different parts of the world, stitch together videos from different parts of the world, put some dramatic music behind it, stitch that in with a few news reports. You can have that like within like 2030, no, probably not 2030, like a couple of minutes, guys, a couple of minutes, you can have that back out on the internet. And that's, it's phenomenal. It's changing, like, and the online space, the online space, so like cyberspace, I guess. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was the word cyberspace comes from, what's his name? It's not Philip K. Dick. What's his name? I can't remember. He wrote the book Neuromancer. And in the book Neuromancer, that's where the phrase cyberspace comes from. And he's talking about, like, this was before even the internet. And he was talking about how people would use virtual reality and upload themselves and go online and have like battles online. And it was wild. And that does look like the future that we're heading into. Hang on, guys. Right, I'm going to come back onto the TikTok comments now, guys. Okay, so I'm on TikTok. They are going crazy as normal. Right, so there was a comment from, I can't remember who the comment was, but somebody commented, how do we prepare for war? What war? And what are we going to do? And I will always try and, hang on. I'll always try and prioritize these questions, guys. I really will, because I know a lot of people, especially in the United Kingdom, are looking at these. Where is it? Where's it gone? Yeah, looking at the headlines as such as UK must actively prepare for potential war in the homeland. Review warns. So this is now coming from a defence review where they're saying that the likelihood of the UK having to fight a battle on home ground is, it's become high now. And what I think they're talking about is what we've been talking about on this channel, guys, okay? Regardless to what, there's a podcast called, let me just scroll down and find it. I think it's called The War Game. Yeah. So there's a podcast called The War Game. And I think what they talk about on this war game is like Russian green military attacking the United Kingdom. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. If the Russian military, in my opinion, if the Russian military are going to attack anywhere in Europe, it's going to be Poland, guys, all right? There's no strategic benefit of attacking the United Kingdom. There just really isn't. We don't have anything here that would be of any significance. Now, and by significance, I mean cost versus reward. So when you're planning these missions, you're like, Yuri, come, we're planning strike on Great Britain. Oh, okay, Vladimir, let me get vodka. Okay, bring vodka. Do you have shashlik? Yes, I have shashlik. Is it beef? No, it's pork. Okay, bring anyway. They're sat there and they're doing their little war games around the table, and there's probably like, I don't know, I'm seeing like, in my head, I've got like a bottle of vodka in the middle, and they've all got little glasses, and they've all got like caviar and little bits of toast. And they're all thinking, they're like, yes, what should we strike? We will strike nuclear facility in Faz Lane. Then we will destroy ports at Portsmouth. And then we destroy all military industrial complex all over United Kingdom. Then we will cripple capitalist pig. They will be ripe for taking. That is all well and true. They could do that. They could send those missiles over and kaboom, 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 kaboom. But then what happens? Britain, we have our own deterrent and we have Trident submarines lurking somewhere in the ocean. I would say they are constantly at the moment in range of Russia. And as soon as those missiles are fired you can track the trajectory, so you can't hide where they've come from. So as soon as those missiles are fired, they get fired back at. So it makes no sense to do that, guys. Absolutely no sense to do that at all. Doesn't it? It makes no sense to do that. And what are you going to realistically achieve? Someone like Poland, for example, who are right there on the border with Ukraine, a lot of the military that is building up in Europe, it's building up in Poland. So it would make more sense to strike those targets because you're going to actually have an effect. Yes, of course, you're going to see those missiles coming over. Poland don't have the deterrent that we do in the United Kingdom. Poland do not have submarines within range of Russia. So if they struck Poland wouldn't be able to independently strike them back. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Okay, there'd be more weight, there'd be more benefit and less risk striking Poland by an order of magnitude. So I don't see any scenario, guys. I really don't, where conventional munitions are coming over to the United Kingdom. What I do see realistically, guys, and I've said this, and I do believe we're seeing this now. What I've said all along is the real threat to the United Kingdom is from sabotage, guys. It is from sabotage. It's from non-conventional warfare. It's from asymmetric warfare. It's from grey warfare. It's from potentially, guys, right? Potentially. Listen, I don't know if this is true, but you know what? When we go over to the YouTube channel and we can have a little bit more of an adult conversation, I will tell you what I think. I would speculate that there are people in the United Kingdom who are here and they don't actually want to assimilate into British society. I would speculate that there are people who've come over on boats, on however, and they're just like, you know what? I'm here having this horrible life when I could go over there. I get given a hotel, I get given some money, I'll get paid to go over there if I go and set fire to something. It's a better life for me. Now, the problem is, guys, we really have brought this on ourselves, guys, all right? We are as the United Kingdom, weak men have brought this on themselves. And the thing about weak men are the worst. You cannot reason with a weak man. You can't, guys. You can't, because they're weak. They won't accept that they're wrong. And I know I've said this quite a few times. The best example of this I can give you, and it's anecdotally something that happened to me, like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe last year. I can't remember exactly. You know what? It was last summer. Yeah, it was about a year ago. Last summer, I was at my friend's house. He moved sits there sometime. Last summer, I was at my friend's house. One of his workmen, or I think it might be his wife's friend's husband or something. And you know how the men are outside having a barbecue and the girls are inside I don't know, doing makeup or something. And he just out of a sudden we're talking about Brexit, and he was calling me Brexit boy, and he's saying what doctors are going to take my job, and I didn't bite to it or anything. I was like yeah, and he was saying, do you like gammon? And I was thinking, right, if we weren't at my friend's, but right, I'll be honest, guys, I was thinking, right, if we weren't at my friend's barbecue, you'd be all over that street now, sunshine. But I didn't say anything. I bit my tongue because I was at my friend's barbecue. I was a guest. So I bit my tongue. I didn't say anything. But what I did do is when we were playing poker, I won the game of poker and I won his glasses off him. So that was a bit of a like, you know what? You can say whatever you want, but I won you at poker because I'm far more intelligent and I can read you like a book, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, so this guy, that's the opinion he had. I saw him a couple of last month, or I remember a couple of months ago. I saw him a couple of months ago, and he was talking to me. And he works as a security guard on a shopping, an outlet centre, not an outlet, retail park. And he's had the sack for no fault of his own. He's had the sack. He's unemployed now. He's got a wife. He's got kids. No money coming in. Over, finished, not coming back. It's done. The people that they've replaced him with don't speak English as their first language. And now he has gone from that guy who was calling me like Brexit boy and asking me if I like gammon to, I mean, some of the things he was saying, I wouldn't say, and they were quite distasteful. I was saying, well, you know, I mean, would you have voted for Brexit? And, you know, these are the type of people that are going to be on the streets, and they're the type of people who are going to be going crazy. It's always weak people who cause the problems, guys, right? A strong person, if you tell a strong person to do something, they will do it. If you tell a weak person to do something, they'll scream and they'll squirm and they'll try and find excuses, then they'll not do it, then they'll blame someone else. Honestly, guys, you know, I don't think there are any problems that strong men cannot resolve, guys. Strong Western men. You know, I don't think there are any problems that strong men cannot resolve, guys, okay? Right, let me jump up and get these comments, guys. So a couple of comments just jumped up that I've seen. So JTTJ is saying Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage both correct about loads UK issues happening every day. I thought those two guys didn't get on. Lord of Langwith, sorry, is saying Churchill said, fight them on the beaches. Who else thought he was on about the Germans? Yeah, maybe he wasn't on about the Germans. Maybe he was on about the, I think there's people supposed to be going down there on the, like, I think there's supposed to be a protest or something on Dover Beach at some point, but they can't call it a protest, so it's just going to be a gathering of people. I heard that somewhere. I might be totally off the mark with that. The Sonners is saying the way society is set up now, it's not beneficial for the human brain. No, it's not. Ashton Woods 7 is saying, are we going to war? Ashton Woods, I would say we are already at war as the United Kingdom. And Matt is saying, I love gammon. Do you know what, guys? I love gammon as well. What I like doing with it, I like doing like gammon kebabs on the barbecue. So you get like a gammon joint and you chop it into little cubes and just keep it simple, guys. Gammon, onion, gammon, onion, gammon, onion. Get that on the barbecue, guys. Okay, you will not be disappointed. Right, I'm jumping down to the bottom of these comments, guys. Okay. Hang on. Bethany May is saying, I went out today and witnessed a man being signs and leaflets from a local church window. Binning signs and leaflets from a local church window. Fred is saying we are being set up for digital IDs, and Ems77 says she likes gammon with an egg. Yeah, gammon with an egg. Listen, when I was in the army, we used to do something. They always used to have something different with gammon. So if they put so they would put gammon and cheese and they would call it something. Then they would put gammon and pineapple and call it Hawaiian. Then they would put gammon, cheese, and some chilies and call it Mexican gammon. Literally, they would just stuff a load of stuff on gammon and just call it a different thing. Right. Okay. Sharon Owen is saying, "What's the next move for Iran and Israel?" Look, guys, I know the tensions between those two countries. I would say right now we're looking at more proxies moving, more proxy movement. Right. Well, actually, I'll give you the updates now. I'll give you the updates because there have been some updates while we have been live. So we'll go away. We'll start here. So 43 minutes ago, Netanyahu says Israel will strike again if Iran rebuilds its nuclear project. In further remarks made in the video address, Netanyahu said, "We have dismantled the Iranian nuclear project, and if anyone in Iran thinks of rebuilding it, we will strike again." Guys, listen, I'm not convinced we're seeing the end of this. I mean, for the people who live out in that region, for the men, well, for everyone actually, for the men, women, and children, for everyone who lives in those regions, I genuinely hope we've seen the last of this. But in the back of my mind, guys, I'm still thinking March 2026. So that leaves us till November. Like, November is the last, it needs to be in full force by November. So here's a question, guys, right? So here's a question. So Benjamin Netanyahu has come out in a statement and said, Israel will strike again if Iran rebuilds its nuclear project. What if Pakistan gives them a nuclear weapon? What if Russia gives them a nuclear weapon? What's the scenario then? How does that work? And right now, if I was Iranian, look, guys, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Right now, listen, guys, I am playing devil's advocate. I'm Team West. I'm blue team. I'm as blue team as you come. But you've got to look at things from both sides, and just accept that sometimes decisions can be made. So Netanyahu is saying, Netanyahu sounds like a playground ride or something, a fairground. So Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will strike again if Iran rebuilds its nuclear project. What if Russia gives them a nuclear weapon? And then what if the next thing we hear, intelligence is out, Iran's bought a nuclear weapon off Pakistan. Iran could launch nuclear weapon. And if you are Iran now, you're kind of looking and thinking, right, the Americans can strike. In fact, first of all, you're thinking the Israelis can strike us whenever they want. We have no deterrence. That's what you're thinking if you're an Iranian. You are, guys, be under no illusion. You're thinking the Americans just came in and gave us a right good slap. That's what they're thinking. That's what you are thinking if you're an Iranian. And there is no deterrence for that, guys, okay? There is no deterrence. So the Iranians will be thinking, guys, listen, we need to get ourselves a nuclear weapon or this thing's going to go again. That is what you would be thinking, guys, okay? That is what you would be thinking if you was an Iranian. So from 40 minutes ago, early US intelligence assessment suggests strikes did not destroy nuclear sites. An early US intelligence assessment indicates that the US military strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities last week did not destroy the core components of Tehran's nuclear program, likely only set it back by months. A report citing 3 people briefed on the matter. The assessment, which has not previously been reported, was produced by the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Pentagon's intelligence arm. So listen, guys, I know I did mention this yesterday. In fact, when the day it went in, I'm not going to go over that again, but just operationally, these things are they're harder to prosecute than people think. When you're doing training, you don't have to come up with any operational problems. When you're doing it operationally, these things don't always go as planned, guys. Okay, so turns out U.S. early intelligence reports say that the strikes did not destroy the nuclear facilities. So I'm just reading what that says, guys. Okay, 37 minutes ago. Oh, guys, so from 37 minutes ago, Iranian air defences have been activated against drones in the northwest city of Tabriz on Tuesday evening, according to two Iranian news sites, amid shaky US brokered ceasefire deals. So who knows where those drones are coming from, guys? So that seems to be the latest, guys, okay, from Iran and Israel. I think the main takeaway from this, guys, is the news that early US intelligence assessments suggest that the strike did not destroy the nuclear facilities. I mean, it certainly scared them. It certainly scared them, guys. It certainly scared them. You've got to understand, when you're developing these things, you look what weapons are going to be used against you. For example, if you're building a tank and your enemy have armored piercing rounds, do you think it might be worthwhile finding how deep those rounds can penetrate and then building your armor thicker? Like, you see where I'm going with that, guys, okay? So yeah, that is the latest from, that's the latest from, I guess these things are contradicting, aren't they? Because first, you've got the report there saying that the Iranian nuclear facilities have only been set back a matter of months. Maybe somebody behind the scenes has got more information than they're letting us know there, guys, okay? And then we've got Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israel will strike again if Iran rebuilds its nuclear project. Right, just going to jump down now to the loads of comments on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much. From now is saying, in fact, we've got Silly Galar, in fact, we've got Miss Sapphire saying, hi, do you think, in fact, let me pin this. Miss Sapphire with a lovely picture of a little pussycat, a little kitten as a little profile picture. Hi, do you think it's likely that the ceasefire will come to an end soon? I feel this may be a short pause to restock and plan. So what I can say on that, Miss Sapphire, is when this first started, when this started, all right, one of the first things I said is, right, guys, listen, those airstrikes, they have to slow down at some point, because those aircraft, I think the Israelis, they roll with F-15s, F-16s, and F-35s. And it's about, I don't know exactly for the F-35, but I know normally an aircraft, you're looking at about 7 hours maintenance. So for every 1 hour it's in the air, you need 7 hours on the ground. And what I said is, all my videos are public record, guys, okay? So back when this first started, I said, right, guys, they've probably got about a week in them at this intensity. They've probably got about a week of continuing these airstrikes at this intensity. So as Miss Sapphire is saying, is it just a time to pause and restock? It could be. Only time will tell, guys, okay? Only time will tell. Oh, and then countering that, I think Silly Gallard is responding to her. He's saying, so Silly Gallard here is in Israel. She's saying, I think the ceasefire will hold, and very soon there will be one in Gaza, because internal politics in Israel. I mean, I wouldn't know about what the internal politics are in Israel. On a wider spectrum, guys, I do think all directions at the moment are leading to that crescendo March 2026, guys, okay? I've not seen anything that would deter me from that. So from now, he's saying, do you think Trump could be saying one thing on the scenes and another thing behind the scenes? Absolutely, that could be happening. Right, let me jump down. Pakistan said, right, okay, so from now over on YouTube, he's saying, excuse me, from now over on YouTube, he's saying Pakistan said that they will give Iran a nuke as well. So can you imagine the scenario, guys, now? The Israelis have taken out, look at it from the Israelis, sorry, look at it from the Iranian side, all right? Listen, and I know, and I'm not being like Team Iran or anything, I'm definitely Team GB, I'm Team West, you know, for better or worse, guys, I will be, but I will give criticism when it's due. If you're an Iranian now and you're sat there and you're, you know, all your generals are like, you know, can you imagine wanting to be like an Iranian general and like the Ayatollah's like, Sean, you are promoted to General Chief of the Military. Please, no, don't. Please, no, I don't want that role. Please don't do that. But you get what I'm going. So they're all sat there now and they're looking, they're saying, right, We can literally get attacked at any time now, guys, yeah? All our air defences, yeah, they didn't help us. They didn't help us. What about the mighty Lord? Yeah, he didn't help us either. Really? No, he didn't help us. Right, okay, what are we going to do? Well, in that scenario, it makes sense for them to want to try and gain access to nuclear armaments. Now, from now, he's saying Pakistan said they will give Iran a nuke. I think the Russians would be in line for that as well. So, not only could they build a nuclear weapon themselves, but somebody could give them one. Somebody would give them one. And I would speculate, guys, that the Russians who are, well, guys, listen, I'm not even going to speculate. I'm just going to say the Russians operate a nuclear energy facility in Iran, and they have hundreds of skilled workers working there. I would speculate that, guys, listen, I'm not even going to speculate. I'm just going to say that capacity is already there. Right, there's just been another update, guys, from Iran. Oh, here we are. Right, guys, so this is from 2 minutes ago. This is regards to Israel. Well, do you know what? Iran. United States tells the United Nations, there's lots of United stuff here, guys, isn't there? The United Kingdom, where people are not very united. The US tells the UN its strike degraded Iran's capacity to build nuclear weapons. So degraded, but not destroyed. America's strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities last week effectively fulfilled our narrow objective to degrade Iran's capacity to produce a nuclear weapon. Acting US envoy to the UN, Dorothy Shear, what a fantastic name, told the United Nations Security Council on Tuesday. In a statement, she claimed the onus was on Tehran for not yet reaching a nuclear deal with the US, leading to the US carrying out a precision strike to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. Listen, guys, we are going to have to wait and see. I'm not throwing anything on the United States. What the United States managed to do, conduct those airstrikes, get in and out without anybody knowing, like that. Just having that capacity on its own is phenomenal, guys. But the ability to be able to strike deep underground military bases through bedrock, I'm just not convinced, guys. Okay. Right, in November, over from a comment on YouTube, guys, okay, in November, Israel will be in an election year. I don't think it will be in Bibi's interest to go to another war after we have been 2 years in war. It has economic and mental reprocessing we need to deal with. Yeah. I mean, on the other side of that, if November, I mean, listen, guys, so we're saying there that November, Israel is going to be in an election year. So if we look at those timings I've just said, if you look at those timings, guys, right, that I've just said, I'm just thinking out loud now, guys. So November, I said the very last, if we are looking at boots on the ground, March 2026, we really need to get, whoever's in charge really needs to start forward mounting those people by November. And if that war in the Middle East is looking like it's a go with boots on the ground, then the Israeli election may get postponed, it may get delayed. I don't know. Right, I'm going to jump over to TikTok, guys, now. Rusty P is saying there won't be a war. Rusty P, who against? There won't be a war between Iran and Israel. There won't be a war with Iran and Israel and Hamas. There won't be a war with Russia and Ukraine. There won't be, I don't know. There's lots of wars going on at the moment. What do you mean? Right, I'm just jumping up, guys, to get some of these comments. Just jumping up to get some. The comments are going crackers. Hang on. Just jumping up to scrolling up. I'm scrolling up, but the chat. Dean is saying hi, Raven. I'm saying hi back to you, Dean, as well. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on and you've not done so already, can you please hit that follow button? If you're watching on YouTube, can you hit the subscribe button? All the buttons that help this channel grow, because ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that helps this channel grow is your fantastic fingers. And everybody knows that the followers on this channel have got the most fantastic fingers, and they're the best looking, guys. The chat. I'm trying to scroll up to get comments on the chat, guys, but it's going crackers. Right. Right, where are we? Right, I'm just going to go, right, I've given up, I'm just going to come to the bottom. I was trying to scroll up, but it keeps flickering. Seb Prime is saying, I do have good fingers. Oh, okay, Seb. And listen, a lot of people are saying, Seb, you have got the best fingers. Sadie But Baddie is saying, do we have time to prep for war on homeland, and how? So let me pin this. So I think what the government are alluding to here, guys, and of course, because it's government run, it probably won't be the best. What the government are alluding to here, guys, with their, I don't know if you guys know or not, but today in the United Kingdom, the mainstream media are reporting that the United Kingdom must actively prepare to fight, must actively prepare for the potential of war in the homeland. A lot of people are talking about a Russian attack. I'm not even entertaining that, guys. I'm really not entertaining that. There's no case use for that. Makes absolutely no friends, guys. Makes no friends. Makes no sense to do that, all right? What I believe, and I've said this all along, what I believe will be coming to the United Kingdom is a massive uptick in crime. Massive uptick in crime. It's the easiest one you can do. You'll get, when we say activating sleeper cells, I don't think it's the sleeper cells that we need to worry about, because those sleeper cells, like a real life sleeper cell, like an actual sleeper cell, they'll be used, I believe, for command and control, because they will have, if it's a real sleeper cell, like a sleeper cell is, they will have an active, chain of command back to whoever's controlling them. So you wouldn't want to compromise that asset, guys. You wouldn't want to compromise that asset at all. You would just want them to do little things for you, put things in place, potentially recruit someone to go and recruit someone, so you wouldn't really want your sleeper cells to be doing stuff. But what you've got right now, we've already reached in the United Kingdom. We have reached the critical mass, guys. We have reached the saturation point in the United Kingdom, where if somebody came up and said, all you guys in hotels, rise and fulfill your destiny, or something like that, I'm going to speculate that a lot of them would. Remember, not only do we have in the United Kingdom, guys, not only do we have more migrants in hotels than we have soldiers in barracks, but we also have 40,000 people on watch lists, okay? So we have 40,000 people on watch lists, more migrants in hotels than soldiers in barracks. I don't know, guys, you do the maths. But yeah, and the police do not have the capacity to deal with that, guys. The police, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the kit, they don't have the tactics, they don't have the capacity. I think the capacity is the best word to use it, because it's encompassing a lot of stuff, to deal with mass unrest on the ground. And esoteric, yeah, so I forgot actually. So listen, guys, we've got a little code word on the channel, okay? So you know how we say boots on the ground for military, like green soldiers in another country? We're using the word trainers on the ground for saboteurs, grey warfare, people who are potentially in this country who are not like army, but they're going to do army starter stuff. So we're calling it trainers on the ground. Right, guys, I'm just going to ask AI how many migrants are in hotels in the UK. Let's just have a look. Right, let's just have a look. At the end of March, oh, right, okay, so we've got up-to-date figures then. We have got up-to-date figures for this. So at the end of March 2025, there were 32,000 asylum seekers, 32,345 asylum seekers housed in hotels in the UK. This figure represented a decrease of 15%. The UK government has been working to reduce its reliance on hotels. So where are they going then, guys? Where are they going? Where are they going? It's because they're certainly not being deported. Let me continue. This includes efforts to clear a backlog of asylum claims to find alternative housing solutions. Right, let me change that question. Let me change that question. How many illegal migrants are in the UK? Wow. Now, this is an eye-watering figure, guys. This is an eye-watering figure. The estimate numbers... Okay, so the estimates of the number of illegal migrants in the UK vary. But academic research suggests upper end is around 863,000. Wow. 863,000. That's almost a million. These include UK-born children of immigrants. Ah, right. Okay, I didn't realize that. So obviously, listen, guys, I didn't realize that. So if you come to the United Kingdom with your wife or something, and then you have a child, like, where does that child get a passport from? Wow. How do you, like, I didn't even think of that. So if you come to the United Kingdom, for example, on a student visa, you and your wife or whatever, I don't know, you come to the United Kingdom, both from wherever, you fall in love, you decide to have a children, you drop out of university, like, what nationality is that child? I don't know, because they're not here illegally, so they don't have British passports, but that child was born in the United Kingdom. Wow. I don't even know. God knows. No idea with that, guys. No idea with that. Anyway, right, guys. Anyway, I'm just going to jump up. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I am going to close you guys down now on TikTok. I'm going to close you guys down. Oh, hang on. So James, listen, I'm gonna leave this here, guys. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. So James is saying 7.5 million new names registered with doctors' surgeries in the past 10 years. I bet it's double that. Yeah, and then obviously every few years, children are born and they live in places that don't really. I'm going to leave that for YouTube, guys. Anyway, I'm going to leave that for YouTube. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close down TikTok. I'm going to go over on to YouTube. I'll be there for a couple of minutes, guys. I'll be there for a couple of minutes on YouTube, answering the questions on there, guys. We can have a little bit more of an open conversation on YouTube. But listen, guys, if you've just got the back end of this, I know a few people of you guys have. If you guys have just got the back end of this, we are double streaming. All the live streams are now uploaded to YouTube. That will happen straight away. So if you've missed it, you can watch it from the beginning. Or if you want, guys, you can jump over to YouTube and I will be answering the questions over there. And then we will be closing that one down as well. And if not, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow morning at 10. Hopefully, if the internet's not playing up. And we are off. We are off, but we're still on. Hang on, guys. Let me click some buttons. Right, that one. Right, so, Lisa Jane here is saying, hotel migrants are working for Deliveroo, that's a tongue twister, are working for Deliveroo and Just Eat are earning, and they just eat. hotel migrants are working for Deliveroo and they just eat are earning £1,000 a week. They're just eating with that, and I think what Lisa Jane there is saying is I think what she's saying there is that hotel migrants are working for Deliveroo and all they have to buy, and they're getting their food paid for, so they don't really have any outgoings, and they're earning £1,000 a week, I guess. Yeah, and I know a lot of that money will be sent home, guys, or a lot of that money will be sent out of the country, and that is the problem. It's kind of like international investment. When you hear international investment, it's international wealth extraction every time, guys. So money will be leaving our tax system and it will be going to somebody else's back pocket. It's Legalati saying, I was an EU spouse when I lived in the UK. My kids were born in the UK and they got British passports automatically. All right, okay, so the children, if you're born in the United Kingdom, regardless of your parents' status, you are a British citizen. So it makes total sense for people just to come to this country, bang out a kid, and then how do you get rid of them then? Like you're going to send the parents home and leave the child? Like, it's just not going to work, is it? So yeah, I mean, that is a really I can see a lot of, and I'm not insinuating you did that, Tilly, but I can see how a lot of people would come over to the United Kingdom, have a child, and then say, "Yeah, I'm not leaving now. I've got a child here. We're part of the United Kingdom. I know I'm not a citizen, but we've got a kid. We can't leave the kid." And you get all these lefty lawyers saying that can't happen. So I guess that is a fair way that this is happening. Can we not just put a fake dorsal fin in the channel? They will soon turn around. I don't know. Maybe just have like swimming pigs in the channel or something. Lots of people jumping over from TikTok. Hello, everybody that's jumping over from TikTok. Hello, everyone. Being born in the UK does not automatically entitle to someone to British nationality, right? So I don't know what this is, guys, okay? We're getting mixed reports because we've just had Silly on here saying that she's got, we just had Silly Galani on here saying that her children automatically got a British passport. But I don't know. I think that may be because she was in the United Kingdom legally. I don't know how it works if you're in the United Kingdom illegally. Hell 21 is saying just eat. Right, okay, so just eat is right, yes, of course it is, guys. Sorry, yes, of course it is, just eat, yeah, so you get just eat, Deliveroo, and I think there might be another one as well. Yeah, sorry, guys. So just eat is so sorry, guys. Listen, I don't order food. I don't want people coming to my house. I don't want people knowing where I live. If I do order food, I will say, "Hello, mate. Can I make an order for collection?" And then I'll go down and collect it. I'm not doing the thing where people come to my house. Right, I'm going to jump down to the bottom, guys. We're going to jump down to the bottom here. There's so much legislation in place because she is here legally. I thought we had sharks in the sea down south. I don't think we have sharks off the coast of the United Kingdom. If you're right, guys, listen. I'm not sure what this thing is with if you have a child in the United Kingdom. Patrick Christie on GB News has a phone number of a UK guy selling migrant places on boats from Calais. Yeah, I saw that actually. I was gonna play that. I was gonna play that article. I couldn't get on the internet, guys, when I was supposed to be on. I was at 10 to 8. I was trying to get on the internet. It wouldn't let me on. It was a nightmare. I had to reset my computer. Then I found out the reason it wasn't on properly is because I'd been messing about under here and the plug had come out slightly. But anyway, yeah, I did have that video. Patrick Christie, he's done like an expose saying how easy it was to make contact with these, these people smugglers. And it was really easy, guys. And we've got the government in the United Kingdom spending unfathomable amounts of money to the French, and nothing's happening. The gangs are not getting smashed. Do you know what? Let me work this out. let's say I get 12 guys. Let's say I get 12 guys. Would we have 12? We'd have a command. Let's say 50, let's say 16 guys. 16 times 100,000. So that's be 1.6 million a year. 1.6 million a year. And I think we could apprehend. Let's say we could apprehend six people a week. So how would you do that? 6 times 52. 6 times 52. 6 times 52. So I reckon, so me on my own, guys, I could recruit enough guys who are ex-military, right? I could genuinely, you know, I'll probably start the live stream tomorrow with this. I could recruit guys, ex-military, you know, who are not scared of these little, you know, these little people smugglers. You know, we're not scared of these little people smugglers and these little gangs, you know. I'd recruit 12 guys, 2 HQ, so 16 guys in total on a rotation. I'm pretty confident we could apprehend six people smugglers a week. 6 times 52, 361. We could take down 312 people smugglers a year. So let's say 1 million, let's say 16, divided by, what did we say? 312. I think that's value for money, guys. I think that is value for money. But you know, the problem is, we ain't doing that. Like, I could go now and, like, for 1.6 million a year, I could employ 12, 16 guys. We could go out there on our own back, operating in teams of 4. We would identify the people smugglers. We would wait till we would identify a strike point. We just go and grab them. Just go and grab them. Condition them for a bit. Throw them in the back of a van. Off you go, sunshine. We're gonna take you somewhere. Job done. We sort it out. Over and done with. 312 people, I reckon I could apprehend per year. It would cost the government 1.6 million a year. I think that is value for money, guys, don't you? Anyway, let me jump down, guys. Let me jump down and get these comments. It's the only thing is saying this is your vocation, Sean. Yeah, I don't have 1.6 million. If I had 1.6 million, guys, I would go and recruit those people straight away, guys. I would go and recruit those people straight away. The problem is, and I've said this before, guys, okay? The problem with the migrants coming to the United Kingdom, they're being let come to the United Kingdom. I could go and close them down real easy. The military could go and close them down real easy with it, you know, using the Royal Navy. Do it, Sean, please do. They destroy illegal drugs, so why? No, I can't complain with that. I think we should demand a refund from the French. People fly to the UK to get dual citizenship by giving birth here. Yeah, I didn't realize this was such a big thing, guys. I didn't realize this was such a thing. This was such a big thing. Right, I'm just going to jump down, guys, okay? Amanda Allen says they will just be arrested, the de-arrested at the hotels. Not if I was arresting them, guys. Listen, they wouldn't, like, if I was going after the gangs, if I had, like, and that's how I do it, guys, okay? I'd have 12 guys operating together, mutual support. We'll be in Cali, probably 2 teams in Cali, 1 team in the UK, maybe rotating around, I don't know, what we leave and stuff, got to stand each other down. I would operate 3 teams of 4, 2 guys as HQ, guiding people, doing analysis, trying to hack people's phones and stuff. The teams, think about it, guys, all right? 3 ex-military guys who are still, you know, still fit, still strong, still able, all that experience they've gained from the military, like apprehending one little nerdy smuggler gang member Like it's not even difficult, guys. It's not even difficult. 4 people on one. It's it's a win for you every time. What you would do is you would identify the person, you would identify who he is, follow him, make a pattern of life, and then when he's not expecting it, go and grab him. Whether that's, I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to tell you some of the. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop, guys. I'm not going to continue with that line of conversation. I'm just going to say it would be a lot. It's a lot easier than people think. Yeah, and then MorphFX is saying it would cost 5,000, just over £5,000 per smuggler. And how many millions are we giving the French? How many millions are we giving the French to do nothing? They need to deploy the Raven. I think you should put a tender in with the government, says Lisa Jane. You can only put a tender in with the government if they've got something out to tender. Do you know what we've put? We will go fund it. Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? I'd have to know what we do. No, it would have to be government sanctioned, guys. It'd have to be government sanctioned because you could apprehend the person real easy. That's real easy apprehending him. I could then get that person back to the United Kingdom. But then what happens with that person once he's, on Batman, like Batman the Dark Knight, when he goes guys, as far as action sequences go, the bit on Batman the Dark Knight, where he just rocks up in China, right? Batman rocks up in China, the Commissioner Gordon and who is it? Harvey Two-Face, they're saying, yeah, we need Lau back. And he's going, oh yeah, he's gone to China. And then Batman says, if you get him back. Anyway, and then the next scene, basically, Batman's in China. He jumps off this building, blasts his way through the window. He just starts beating everybody up. And then he's dragging Lau with one leg. And the next thing, what I'm saying is, once you get these people back to the United Kingdom, what is the process for them there? What's the process? Because it probably wouldn't be as per guidelines the way we got them back. Listen, guys, but, I don't know. I mean, I think there would be a GoFundMe for that, but that would put a price mark on my head as well, guys. That would put a massive price mark on my head as well. Right. Raven, have you heard of the Shield, a group of lads to protect the community? Yes, I have. I have heard of them. I think it's a fantastic thing that they're doing. The French saw us coming. Deliver the target a pizza. Say you're from Just Eat. Well, that would, yeah. So Hell 21 saying deliver the target a pizza. Say you're from Just Eat. That would, you would have to think they may not order pizza. They might not like pizza. It might be haram. Talk to reform. They'll help. It all comes down to legislation, guys. It'd be very easy to get those people back. Maybe checkpoints is not such a bad idea. I think Solidarity there over in Israel is saying, for those of you guys who don't know, the whole of Israel is like it's like a fortress. They have lots of checkpoints to come into Israel. But listen, if you live in the United Kingdom, it's easier in the United Kingdom. It's easier to get into the United Kingdom than it is to get into a nightclub. Smugglers are in the UK. Yeah, this is what we were talking about. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Where are we here, guys? There is a group of bikers who are setting up an organisation to protect kids, hopefully across the UK. It's early days and needs more traction. They called it the Shield. I think these things are fantastic, guys. I really do. In my experience, I'm talking now from operating in Northern Ireland and I saw this firsthand operating in Afghanistan. If you go after the leaders, if you go after the root cause, the rest of them just fall. Because nobody wants to take leadership. Nobody wants to earn any of that money because they're right. If I say I'm the leader and I start organising things, I disappear. And then when you keep doing that consistently, the whole chain will fall. I do think it's fantastic that people are mobilizing to protect children. I just wish it had happened sooner. Right, guys, this is going to be the last comment, I think, guys. This is going to be the last comment. Have you looked on the deep state map? Russia has taken lots of land recently. Yeah, look, guys. I'm not going to do it now, guys. So I'm conscious that the time is getting on. If you guys want to go to the deep state war map Ukraine, and you can see how much ground the Russians are taking per day. Historically, it's the Russians are taking about 20 kilometers per day, and that's not changed. It's not changed. That drive, that push, that move forwards, it has continued, guys. Okay, it has continued. The Russians keep taking ground every day, and realistically, with boots on the ground, with the Ukrainian military, they don't really have any response for it, guys. They don't really have any response for it. Right, Leanne is saying, in what way can we prepare long term, Sean? Learn how to grow food, get yourselves food and water, all right? That is pretty much in a nutshell in a short sentence, what I could say. Grow your own food and make sure you've got water. Assume that at some point the water in the United Kingdom will be turned off. We're already suffering from droughts, guys. There's more people coming to the United Kingdom who are drawing on that water system, as with the electricity system as well. And we don't seem to be reinvesting in our water system. Again, I could go into international investment, but the time is short. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will speak to you guys tomorrow. I'll be back on the live tomorrow morning at like 10, and I'll be back on tomorrow afternoon at the same time again. I will see you later, guys.